The elite chess battles don't get much better these days. World number 1, Magnus Carlsen, with the white pieces this game. His opponent, the youngster, Nodebek Abdusatorov, they were playing at the World Teams Championship Blitz Tournament 2026. This is the quarterfinals, game 1 of their mini match. Let's check it out. Magnus going d4 and the rock solid d5 from Nodebek. They get 3 minutes each, couple minutes back per move. Slav defense on the board. It gets exciting soon. We see the knight stream out. Pawn e6 starts the semi-Slav defense, and if you want to get razor sharp, you can bring that bishop out to g5, but not today. Magnus, bringing the old man chess, goes for the exchange variation and plonks the bishop on f4. He wants to grind, he wants positional. Nodebek sticks the pony on the edge, moving the same piece twice, usually a big no-no. But he forces white to move the bishop twice. So this is how you get away with it. This bishop now blocks the attack on the queen. These ones go into the blender, e3, knight hopping back, and the bishop streams into the game. It's solid, it's steady stuff, but now it mixes up a smidge, because Magnus, facing off to this pin, plays the move of queen to b3, saying take my knight, ruin my structure, I want the pressure here, I want to stop you doing knight d7. So Nodebek says okay, in for a penny, in for a pound, let's chop that off the board, change the structure, see who can maneuver better here in this long, middle gamey, end game position. Even the queens soon leave the board. Nodebek is fearless. He brings the queen over to protect the pawn. Now he can develop. Magnus's best is actually castles when you run it with the all-powerful engine, but he plays this one, sets up the cheapo. Rook is opposite the queen. Now we see queen b6 therefore played, offering the exchange. Course Magnus goes for it, obliges it, encourages it rather. Queen now takes on b3, pawn recaptures here. Why would Magnus mangle his own structure? Well, after knight bd7, we're about to see the point before you can say.
Very excited by the snack selection today. It's a little crostini, have some cream cheese, smoked salmon, capers, and a little bit of red onion. Today is a good day.
Yes, Grandmaster Awanda Liang, we love to see him. He loves a crostini. We now see this pawn clamp on this b5 square, not allow white to do this. And so Magnus, after king d2, g6, blunting the half-open file, h4, king d8, plonks this seahorse on the promised land, the outpost square. This is part of the reason he adopted this structure, but let's be real, despite having a half-open file to work with now, very difficult to make progress. This is going to be his main break that he looks for. King c7 from Nodebek covers this pawn. We now see rook a1 setting up all kinds of ideas round here or round here. Rook a d8 in response. Rook hc1 from Magnus. No one wants their king on the line of the rook, but right now Nodebek's got more pressing matters. Recycling, I was going to say regurgitating that knight into the game, but regurgitate's probably not the best word. Magnus now switches attention and plays pawn h5. This is what he does so well, using both sides of the board to turn the screw. The knight hops in. This is what we call a nay stack in the business. Rook h1's played. If black had taken, by the way, well, yes, you win a pawn, but it's such a mess of a structure that white's usually winning it back and with compensation. So Nodebek didn't want that. He rotates the knight. hg, hg, always captured towards the center. Usually speaking, you could play e4 immediately here, but Magnus doesn't do it. He starts with king c3, covering d4, not liking the fact that the king was on the line of the rook there. Rook h5 from Nodebek's kind of a strange, interesting move. Magnus takes. It does create a passed pawn here. could be a trump in endgames, and now you could play e4 immediately. But Magnus builds up to it, starts rook h1, rook g8, king steps back, ready with king e2, if rook g2, king d8, and now here we go. The game hots up. Magnus could keep building with rook h4 and other ideas, king e2 maybe, just hold off a minute, but he plays the straightforward pawn e4, gaining the space, threatening e5. It gets the question mark here, but still, white is standing really promisingly here, because in this position, black only has one move to stay in the game. e5 is a huge threat, forking these two. And if you try something like, I don't know, knight g4, let's say, to get out the way, go for the pawn, you're just so busted. You can allow this fork, move the rook, take a pawn, capture back here, and everything's collapsing for black. All the pieces getting kicked around, so much pressure. You can't even do this, or there's a check, and this is pinned, game over. Just one sample of how quickly black can go wrong. And if this knight moves, b6 is hanging, or b7 rather. So how do you deal with all the problems in this position? Nodebek finds the incredible pawn b6, allowing a6 to fall if white wants it, because then the knight's distracted from the defense here, and one of these guys crashes through. Wow, what a move. Reminds me of Igor Smirnov saying in his teaching, the best form of defense is offense. And I'm mentioning him because I watched one of his videos the other day, reminded me of his exceptional courses. And it just so happens he is running one of his sales right now in the Remote Chess Academy shop. I'm talking like 4 or 5 times a year max they'll run these sales. There's 80% off for International Chess Day. These are the top 3 selling courses. Especially popular is that Road to 2000. It's so good. So many nuggets of Grandmaster wisdom, positional chess understanding stuff. Honestly, check it out. Do download it. Do pay for it. It's worth every buck. I've used it myself. Grows your knowledge so much. Check it out while it's on sale. Get it in. Hope you enjoy it as much as I have down the years. We now see e5 from Magnus because this one was attacked. If you moved it, the center was collapsing. Nodebek takes here and Magnus Carlsen goes wrong. In this position, he should play pawn takes knight. The line goes something like this. Rook recaptures. It's 4v4 on the pawns, but okay, it's a mess. This rook's active. This bishop's active though, but this knight could hop though, but this rook's active though. So really it's anyone's guess what might happen here. With the best players in the world, probably they make that draw, but who knows. Magnus doesn't do any of it though. He takes on c5. Now this does keep things in the balance, but now you are tiptoeing a tightrope, because after this move, check. If you recapture, well, this knight's taken back. You escape the attack and you're just a knight ahead. So Magnus goes over with the king. Now he's still okay, but after this excellent move, there's now a massive problem. If you capture this knight as you want to do, you can see the drop. The bar poops itself because now there's knight g3. Discovered, double check. King's got to move somewhere. You pick up an entire rook and with it the game. So the natural takes is not possible. Magnus has to find king f1 as the best move. And it's so non-obvious because you allow this check. The king then runs again. This didn't happen. We're in the grayed out analysis mode. This is the top line. Knight a5 apparently best. If you take with check, king d3, and there's 2 knights hanging. You can't deal with all that. Apparently this should be drawn. And if you don't go knight d4, you play this knight a5 idea, then the bishop can take here. I mean, the lines are wild. Something like this. Black can save the piece, but white munches a ton of pawns. Here's one sample, keep checking around, do some funky stuff, end up for about, what, 3 pawns for the piece. Crazy engine lines, very difficult to find. King f1 was the idea though. Magnus, however, plays King f3. And what's the problem with this move? It's simply knight g5 check. And if you head up the board to keep chasing the knight, try and eat one of these guys, then it simply jumps back with yet another check. King goes, this knight saves itself, you're a clean piece down, lost game. So Magnus didn't run up the board, he stepped backwards, but same problems, piece down, right? This is nuts. Magnus Carlsen going from a position where you would expect only 2 results, white win or draw, to this being down a full piece against the incredible Nodebek. He's often struggled down the years against Abdusattorov. Abdusattorov famously won the 2021, I think it was, Rapid World Chess Championship, squeezing out Magnus, beating him. This pawn's now about to drop. What if you try King e3? Then there's knight c2 check. Too much pressure on it. You can't hold it. What if you try King e4? Then it still drops. No good. So you can't hold on. Magnus takes here. Pawn drops with check. King e4. Knight back. Pawn about to drop on c5. And Magnus just goes for it. Counterplay. It's no good. It's lost. But he has to create complications. He's going for the soft f7 point. Now knight d5. Rook h7. Rook g8 played. And rook h3 back. The trouble is, with this amazing knight blocking out the bishop, how do you create that play? You can't even go e6. This knight covers the square. It's truly awful. Magnus is clinging on. F-pawn about to drop. So he chops off one of these noble steeds. Pawn recaptures. This cannon activates. But excellent play by Nodebek. Magnus thrashing. Nodebek in full control here. No issues. And how about this for a swashbuckling finish? Magnus down to seconds now. And he runs into the epic knight c5. Using the pin. Take me, I take you. So Magnus, under the attack, drops off. Pawn pushes. He nudges back. Rook b5 played. Another really cool and calm move, giving back the turn to Magnus. And here we see resigns. Because if you move on the second rank somewhere, a pawn drops. If you head back, this pawn could advance even, or other good moves for black. And say you wait around with the king, well then the knight can hop in. King no longer covers the square. Pawn's going to advance. It's just a dead lost position. Something like this. You eat the army, you soon mate the king. Amazing game by Nodebek Abdusattorov. Do come back tomorrow. I'll show the replay, game 2 of their match, and what happened overall in the tournament. Hope you enjoyed. Have a look at the video on screen for more epic chess. And don't forget to check out the Remote Chess Academy, 80% off. Get in there while the sale lasts. The courses are incredible. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.